Hello, hello, hello. April 25, 2020, Saturday, 9:50 p.m. So ngayon, dito tayo sa pang-apat na discussion natin for auditing theory. Now, sa unang discussion natin, napag-usapan natin yung engagement, introduction ng auditing, mga concepts behind this. Then, yung sa second discussion natin, napag-usapan natin yung planning, yung nag-start na mag-design si auditor ng mga audit plans niya, audit strategy niya, para sa kanyang gagawing audit engagement. Now, sa third discussion natin last time, napag-usapan natin ang actual audit procedures, yung pag-gather ng or pag-obtain ng audit evidences, because those audit evidences will affect the or will be the basis of the auditor's opinion in his auditor's report. Ngayon, dito tayo sa pang-apat na module or pang-apat na discussion kung saan tapos nang gawin ni auditor ang mga audit procedures. So, ang mangyayari na lang is, on the basis of those audit evidences na na-obtain niya, performing the audit procedures, magpo-form na siya ng opinion in his report of the financial statement ni client. So, ito, reminder lang ng audit process, PSA 700, forming an opinion and reporting on financial statements. Now, ang sabi dito, auditor's report. And as we've discussed nung sa first discussion natin, an auditor's report must always be in writing. Kasi, mas nagiging klaro kung nakasulat yan siya. Hindi lang verbal, hindi lang oral. Dapat may actual. Tapos ang elements niya, or yung mga nakalagay within that auditor's report, ay, teka muna, itong PSA 700 na pinag-usapan natin dito ngayon, ito yung old standard o yung old standard. Later on, pag-uusapan natin yung new revisions. Pero dito muna tayo para magkaroon tayo ng idea. So ito yung mga elements or mga components ng nasa loob ng auditor's report for the old revision or for the old standard. Una, yung title clearly indicates that it is the report of an independent auditor. Addressee shall be addressed as required by the circumstances of the engagement. Introductory paragraph, ang laman nito is to identify the entity whose financial statements have been audited. So, yung si client, state that the financial statements have been audited. Third is identify the title of each statement that comprises the financial statements. Yung mga financial position, owner's equity, etc. Then, refer to the summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory information, and then specify the date or period covered by each financial statement comprising the financial statement. So, lalagay mo for the year of 2016 ba yan? For the fiscal year of blah blah blah, or for the calendar year. So, dapat specific. Now, fourth component na nilalaman ng auditor's report is yung management responsibility for the financial statements. Ang laman nito ng component na to is, it describes the responsibilities of those in the organization that are responsible for the proper preparation of the financial statement. So kung makikita nyo dito, what is stated is, si management ang may responsibility sa pag-prepare ng financial statement. It is different from the responsibility of the auditor. Malalaman nyo mamaya. Then second, need not refer specifically to management, but shall use the term that is appropriate in the context of the legal framework in the particular jurisdictions in the record. So, nakadepende sa circumstances. Third is that it shall include an explanation that management is responsible, ito gaya ng sabi natin, for the preparation of financial statements in accordance with applicable financial reporting framework para dito sa atin sa Pilipinas is PFRS and PAS. And for such internal control, as it determines is necessary to enable the preparation of the financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. So, alam ko, familiar na kayo sa statement na yan. Pangapat is that the explanation of management's responsibility for the financial statement in the auditor's report shall refer to the preparation and fair presentation of these financial statements or the preparation of financial statement that give a true and fair view as appropriate in the circumstances. So ito, makikita nyo to sa auditor's report mismo, sa loob mismo ng paragraph. Now, since may responsibility si management, si auditor din may sariling component for his responsibility. Now, kay management, gaya ng sabi natin, ang responsibility niya is the preparation of the financial statement. Kay auditor naman, ang responsibility niya is to express an opinion on the financial statement based on the audit. So, tandaan nyo, hindi si auditor ang gumagawa ng financial statement, si management. Ang trabaho lang ni auditor to express an opinion on that financial statement. Pero dati, or until now, nangyayari pa rin, kung sinong nag-audit ng financial or kung sinong gumagawa ng financial statement, siya rin ang nag-audit. Kaya mga companies or yung mga small business, mga medium business, pupuntahan sila sa auditing firm, tapos dadalhin lang nila yung mga financial documents, tapos yung auditing firm na yan ang gagawa ng kanilang financial statement. Tapos, after gawin yung financial statement, the same auditing firm will perform the audit procedure. So, parang chinek lang nila yung kanilang sariling work. So, yan yung nangyayari dati. Pero ngayon, rarely na lang nangyayari. Pero nangyayari pa rin. Now, the second responsibility or component ng auditor's responsibility is that it shall state that the audit was conducted in accordance with international standards on auditing, or kung sa Pilipinas, Philippine Standards on Auditing. Pangatlo, shall also explain that those standards require that the auditor comply with ethical requirements. So, required daw si auditor na i-follow yung mga ethical requirements provided. And that the auditor daw plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. So, pangapat na component ng auditor's responsibility is the description of the audit in the auditor's report shall refer to the entity's preparation and fair representation of the financial statements, or the entity's preparation of financial statement that give a true and fair view as appropriate in the circumstances. So ito, makikita nyo to sa auditor's report mismo. And then, it shall state whether the auditor believes that the audit evidence the auditor has obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for the audit opinion. Because of course, ang trabaho naman talaga ni auditor is to give an opinion, and yung opinion niya is based on the audit evidence that he was able to obtain while performing the audit procedures. So, dito sabi ng auditor, kung enough ba, sufficient ba yung nakuha niyang audit evidences para makaprovide siya ng opinion. Now, after nyan, papakita na ni auditor yung kanyang opinion. Dito sasabihin niya kung qualified ba yan, kung modified ba yan, unmodified, disclaimer, or adverse. Now, auditor's opinion. When expressing an unmodified opinion, ito unmodified tayo, on financial statement prepared in accordance with a fair presentation framework, the auditor's opinion shall, unless otherwise required by law or regulation, use one of the following phrases which are regarded as being equivalent. So, pag unmodified daw yung opinion ni auditor sa financial statements, ito yung mga phrases na gagamitin niya. Unless otherwise required by law or regulation, kapag may ibang requirement na phrase na gagamitin. Pero, ito yung gagamitin niya, dalawa sila. Una, the financial statements present fairly in all material aspect in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework, or kung sa atin, with the Philippine Financial Reporting Standard or Philippine Accounting Standard, PAS, yun. Or yung second na pwede niyang gawin, the financial statements give a true and fair view of in accordance with Philippine Financial Reporting Standard or Philippine Accounting Standard. Now, pangalawang ano ito is when expressing an unmodified opinion ko on financial statements prepared in accordance with a compliance framework, o ibig sabihin, parang compliance auditing. The auditor's opinion shall be that the financial statements are prepared in all material aspects in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. Then, pangatlo, if the reference to the applicable financial reporting framework in the auditor's opinion is not to the International Financial Reporting Standards issued by the International Accounting Standards Board or International Public Sector Accounting Standard issued by the, ang daming international, by the International Public Sector Accounting Standard Board, the auditor shall identify the jurisdiction of origin of the framework. So, basically, kapag ganito ang ginamit niya, ang gagawin lang ni auditor is to identify the jurisdiction kung saan ang galing yung framework. So, ito yung laman ng auditor's opinion paragraph. Tandaan yan. Tapos ito yung dalawang pwede niyang gamitin para igawing praises sa opinion niya kapag unmodified. Unless may ibang requirement provided by law or regulation. Now, other reporting responsibilities. In addition to the auditor's responsibility under the ISA or PSA, Philippine Standard on Auditing, to report on the financial statement, to pwede rin maglagay. Then, ipipirmahan niya ni auditor. Yung auditor's report, pipirmahan niya auditor. Usually, ang pipirma yan is yung partner ng auditing firm. Na pang-siyam or 9, date of the auditor's report. So, usually, this date shall be dated no earlier than the date on which the auditors obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence on which to base the auditor's opinion on the financial statements, including evidence that all the statements that comprise the FS, including the related notes, have been prepared, and those with the recognized authority have asserted that they have taken responsibility for those financial statement. So basically, usually kasi itong date of auditor's report, same date yan sa kung kailan natapos yung tawag doon? Kung kailan natapos. Usually around April 15 yan. Kasi April 15 yung, gaya ng sabi natin last time, is yung date na kailangan mag-file ng tax return si company. And kapag mag-file yan siya ng tax return, sinasama dyan or sinasama sa filing yung financial statements niya. And with that, kasama rin yung auditor's report. And lastly, auditor's address. Auditor's address shall name the location in the jurisdiction for the auditor practices. Like, for example, kay Ma'am Flor dito sa Zamboanga or sa SGB, Metro Manila. Yun. Now, para mas magiging klaro, kailangan may illustrative or illustration para mas maintindihan. So, as you can see here, report of the ito yung itsura. Makita nyo, we have audited the accompanying financial statements of ABC company, blah blah blah. Tapos sinabi dito kung ano yung mga financial statements, income, statement change in equity, statement some significant account fallacy. Then makikita rin natin dito yung management responsibility for the FS. As you can see, nakalagay, management is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of this financial statement in accordance with the PFRS. Then, as you can see here, yung auditor's responsibility. Dito. Mababasa nyo, same sa sinabi kanina, ang responsibility lang talaga ni auditor is to express an opinion on the financial statement na kanyang inaudit. And, sasabihin niya na yung pag-audit niya is in accordance with the Philippine Standard on Auditing. And then, dito na ang opinion and other components na na-discuss natin kanina. Then, dito sa opinion paragraph, nakalagay dito kung ano yung magiging opinion ni auditor. And since pinag-uusapan natin is an unmodified opinion, mababasa nyo na in our opinion, kasi opinion lang talaga yan, the financial statements present fairly in all material aspect the financial position of ABC Company as of December 31, 2021 and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year ended in accordance with the Philippine Financial Reporting Standards. So makita nyo, ito yung finalo, present fairly in all material aspect in accordance with the applicable standard. O yan, klaro, di ba? Then report on other legal and regulatory requirements, auditor signature, date of auditor's report, and auditor's address kung saan siya may jurisdiction. Now, pumunta naman tayo sa PSA 705 kung saan, paano kung yung opinion is hindi unmodified. So, dito, PSA 705. Old standard din to, kung matatandaan nyo. Kay PSA 705, modifications to the opinion in the independent auditor's report. Now, Ano yung mga types ng modified opinions? I know familiar na kayo dito. Si qualified opinion na kung saan expressed when the auditor, having obtained sufficient appropriate audit evidence, concludes that the misstatements individually or in aggregate are material but not pervasive to the financial statement. And dito sa pangalawa, the auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence on which to base the opinion, but the auditor concludes that the possible effects on the financial statements of undetected misstatement, if any, could be material but not pervasive. So as you can see here, anong difference na dalawa? Una, dito kay letter A, makikita nyo na the auditor was able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence, meaning walang scope limitation. He was able to perform the audit procedures. Then, when he performed that audit procedures, he was able to find out that there are misstatements in the financial statement. Those misstatements are material. Material siya. Pero hindi sa pervasive. Anong meaning yan? Gaya na sabi natin last time, hindi malawak yung kanyang effect. Hindi malawak yung kanyang effect. Kung saan, kung ang misstatement ay nasa isang line item lang, like for example, sa accounts receivable, di nasa accounts receivable lang yung misstatement na yon. Material, pero hindi siya pervasive. So, kapag gano'n nangyari, qualified opinion ang ibigay mo. Then, dito sa pangalawa, makikita natin na unable to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence, meaning may scope limitations. The auditor was not able to perform the audit procedures necessary para makakalap siya or maka-obtain siya ng audit evidence. Now, because of that, the auditor concludes na yung mga possible effects sa financial statements ng undetected misstatement is material. So, parang na-assess niya or na-evaluate na yung possible effects ng misstatement sa FS is material. Meaning, material. Pero, hindi sa pervasive. Hindi malawak yung kanyang effect. Like for example, gaya na sabi din kanina, kung sa accounts receivable lang yung effect, yung misstatement nasa accounts receivable lang, hindi kumalat sa ibang account balances. Material nga, pero hindi malawak, hindi pervasive. So pag ganito rin yung nangyari, qualified opinion ang ibibigay ni auditor. Napumunta naman tayo sa pangalawang unmodified opinion. Modified opinion. Si adverse. Dito si adverse, gagamitin mo siya kapag si auditor, having obtained sufficient appropriate audit evidence, concludes that the misstatement, individually man siya or in aggregate, are both material and pervasive to the financial statement. Oh, as we can see here, kay adverse opinion, the auditor was able to perform the audit procedures necessary to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Now, after doing that, he was able to conclude na may mga misstatements sa financial statement. And yung mga misstatements na yun are considered to be material and also pervasive, meaning malawak yung sakop niya. Like for example, kung may misstatement sa inventory, material nakita ni auditor, tapos nakita niya pa na pervasive. Bakit? Kasi naapektuhan nito yung cash balance, naapektuhan nito yung accounts receivable, naapektuhan nito yung naapektuhan nito yung cost of goods sold, naapektuhan nito yung sales, yung income statement. So yun, both material and pervasive, malawak yung effect niya. Pag ganun na nangyari, and he was able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence, adverse opinion ang ibibigay ni auditor. Now, pumunta tayo sa pangatlong modified opinion, si disclaimer. Now, kailan tayo nagbibigay ng disclaimer opinion? Well, dalawang instances tayo meron. The first one is that the auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence on which to base the opinion, and with that, the auditor concludes that the possible effects on the financial statements of undetected misstatements, if any, could be both material and pervasive. Meaning, as opposed kay adverse opinion kung saan si auditor was able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence, dito kay disclaimer, the auditor was not able to perform audit procedures in order to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence, therefore, or meaning, merong scope limitation. Now, considering that the auditor assessed na yung mga possible yung mga possible effects na meron is that merong mga undetected misstatements sa financial statement. And those undetected misstatements are considered to be material and pervasive. Ibig sabihin, paulit-ulit ang sinasabi, malawak yung kanyang na-affected. Kaya, kung gano'n nangyayari, scope limitation na, material and pervasive pa, disclaimer ang ibigay mong opinion. Now, the second instance kung kailan tayo pwede magbigay ng disclaimer opinion is this one. In extremely rare circumstances involving multiple uncertainties, the auditor concludes that, notwithstanding having obtained sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding each of the individual uncertainties, it is not possible to form an opinion on the financial statements due to the potential interaction of the uncertainties and their possible cumulative effect on the financial statement. Ito, meaning nito, wala ka talagang pwedeng gawin because of those multiple uncertainties. Like for example, under litigation yung company, tapos maraming nagkalat-kalat, maraming scandal, tapos nahaluan pa ng economic downturn because of the COVID-19, lockdown, tapos naanuhan pa ng bagyo, tapos nasira pa ang records ng company, yung mga inventories nawasak. So because of those extremely rare circumstances involving multiple uncertainties, hindi talaga maka-perform ng audit engagement si auditor. So with that, magbibigay siya ng disclaimer opinion kasi wala talaga siyang pwedeng gawin eh. Alam magbigay siya ng adverse, magbigay siya ng qualified, wala halos siya na perform. Tapos hindi niya talaga it is already out of his hand. So with that, disclaimer na ang ibibigay na opinion ni auditor. Now, ito, parang konting table lang or konting additional notes lang kung ano yung mga changes na kung ano yung mga phrases na mapapalitan sa unmodified opinion auditor's report kapag naging modified na yung mga opinion. Ito, basis for modification paragraph, immediately before the opinion paragraph, lalagay mo ang basis for qualified, basis for adverse, basis for disclaimer sa opinion paragraph. Qualified ng opinion mo. Anong meaning nito? Except for, ibig sabihin, except for that particular line item na nakita mong may problema, yung other parts ng financial statements are properly presented. Kasi nga, gaya na sabi natin dito kanina, material yung nakita mong problema, pero hindi siya pervasive. Meaning, it only affects that line item. It only affects that account balance. Or it only affects that particular area. Hindi kumalat sa ibang area or sa ibang items ng financial statement. Kaya dito, qualified opinion, except for, like for example, accounts receivable lang may problema. Then, ilalagay mo accounts receivable lang ang may problema and the other aspects, the other areas, the other items of the financial statements are properly presented except for that accounts receivable. Kaya nga, qualified opinion. Now, kay adverse naman, do not present fairly, have not been prepared in all material aspects in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. Kasi as we know, kay adverse opinion, the auditor was able to perform the audit procedures and after performing those audit procedures, being able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence, nakita niya na maraming misstatements sa financial statement na kung saan material na nga, pervasive pa. And because of that pervasiveness of the material misstatements, sasabihin ni auditor, adverse opinion, the financial statement is not presented fairly in accordance to the applicable financial reporting framework. Yan kay adverse opinion. Pagdating sa opinion paragraph. Kay disclaimer naman, gaya na sabi natin, the auditor was not able to perform the audit procedures, scope limitation. And with that, nagbigay siya ng audit opinion kasi, adverse opinion kasi na-sense niya or na-evaluate niya na yung possible effects sa financial statements, yung mga undetected misstatement, are both material and pervasive. Now, sa auditor's responsibility, amend, basahin niyo lang, introductory paragraph, wala kang papalitan, pero pagdating kay disclaimer, may papalitan ka. Then ito, para mas maging klaro sa utak nyo, o sa isip, para mas maging klaro yung para mas ma-visualize nyo, kumbaga, ito, kapag qualified on opinion due to material misstatement. Ibig sabihin, qualified lang. makikita nyo, itong mahalagang part nyan is yung qualified opinion. Tingnan nyo, in our opinion, except for the effects of the matter described in the basis for qualified opinion paragraph, nakita nyo, except the financial statements present fairly in all material aspect or give a true and fair view of the financial position of ABC company and its financial in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standard. Tapos makikita nyo na ito yung basis ng kanyang opinion. So makikita nyo, the company's inventories are carried in the financial position. Management has not stated that lower cost. Makikita nyo, ito sa inventory lang daw may problema. Itong problema na to, hindi siya pervasive. Material nga, pero hindi pervasive. So pag ganun nangyari, qualified opinion lang. Kasi except for. Kasi nga, sa isang bagay lang nagkaroon ng problema. Hindi naapektuhan yung ibang parts ng financial statement. Kaya qualified opinion. Tandaan nyo talaga yan. Now, paano naman pag adverse opinion? Now, as we know, adverse opinion, the auditor was able to perform the audit procedures. Tapos may nakita siyang misstatement. Tapos yung misstatement na yun are both material and pervasive. So, ito yung mahalagang tingnan, yung adverse opinion. Excuse me. Kung mababasa nyo, in our opinion, because of the significance of the matter discussed in the basis for adverse opinion, dito sa taas, the consolidated financial statement do not, tingnan nyo, do not present fairly the financial position of ABC Company as of December 31, 2001, and their financial performance, cash flow, blah, 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 in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards. So, kung makita nyo, since material and pervasive yung problema sa financial statement, it affects the entire financial statement. Kaya nasabi dito, the consolidated financial statements do not present fairly. Kaya nga, buong financial statement ang sinabihan ng hindi presented fairly kasi yung effect ng misstatement are both material and pervasive. Kung ito, mababasa nyo dito sa basis for adverse opinion. Ngayon, pumunta naman tayo sa qualified opinion kung saan mayroong scope limitation. Tingnan nyo. So, tingnan nyo, dito, qualified opinion pero material misstatement lang. So, ibig sabihin, the auditor was able to perform the audit procedures necessary to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Dito naman, qualified opinion due to scope limitation, ibig sabihin, the auditor was not able to perform the necessary audit procedures to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidences, but the auditor has assessed that the possible effects of the undetected misstatement to the financial statement are material pero hindi pervasive. Kaya qualified opinion lang. Now, kung makita nyo, in an opinion, except for the possible effects of the matter described in the basis for qualified opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material aspect, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, in accordance with financial reporting standards. So as we can see here, like for example, dito ang sinabi, investment in XYZ company, foreign associate. So parang investment in associate. Si auditor was able to perform necessary audit procedures on majority of the aspects ng financial statements. But the auditor was not able to perform the audit procedures necessary for this particular investment in associate. Now, the auditor was able to assess na yung effect nito is material, pero hindi pervasive. Hindi niya nga ito perform, ibig sabihin may scope limitation, na-assess niya na material ang effect, pero hindi pervasive, hindi malawak ang sakop, hindi naapektuhan ng ibang line item sa financial statement. So because of that, qualified opinion ang kanyang ibibigay. Ngayon, pumunta naman tayo sa disclaimer. Now, as you know, disclaimer, yung unang scenario is that mayroong scope limitation. The auditor was not able to perform the necessary audit procedures to obtain the sufficient appropriate audit evidence, but the auditor was able to assess that the possible effects of the undetected misstatements are both material and pervasive. So makikita nyo dito, mas umikli yung mga mas umikli yung mga, lalo na sa auditor's responsibility, umikli yung haba ng mga paragraphs. All express, our responsibility is expressed because of the matter described below. The auditor was not able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence. So, yan, kaya umikli siya. Tapos ito yung basis ng disclaimer. Ito ang naging disclaimer opinion. Because of the significance of the matter described in the basis of for disclaimer of opinion paragraph, we have not been able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence. So, scope limitation. To provide the basis for an audit opinion, accordingly, we do not express an opinion on the financial statement. So yan, gets nyo sana. Ito yung apat na opinions ang pwedeng ibigay ni auditor. First is unmodified opinion. Gaya nito. Then magbibigay rin siya ng modified opinions. Then sa under modified opinions, nandun si qualified, nandun si adverse, nandun si disclaimer. Which is mas maintindihan nyo o mas makaklaro yung view sa inyo kapag nakita nyo tong mga sample ng independent auditor's report. So, pumunta naman tayo sa other parts ng auditor's report na kung saan pwede itong idagdag sa auditor's report. Yun sina emphasis of matter paragraphs and other matters paragraph. Ito sila, pwede ito silang idagdag sa auditor's report kapag na-feel ni auditor based on his professional judgment na kailangan niya itong idagdag sa kanyang auditor's report. So, professional judgment na yan, subjective kung gusto niyang isama. And this is governed by PSA 706. So, ano ba itong emphasis of matter paragraph? Well, basically, refers to a matter appropriately presented or disclosed in the financial statement that, in the auditor's judgment, is of such importance that it is fundamental to users' understanding to the financial statement. So, meaning ito, na-assess ni auditor na, parang itong matter na to, importante. Importante kasi, na-assess niya na, it will help the user understand more the financial statement. So, kung na-assess ni auditor, naisip niya, sige, sama ko to para mas maintindihan ng user yung financial statement ni client. Now, paano niya ipapasok si emphasis of matter paragraph? Well, nandito, use the heading emphasis of matter or other appropriate heading, pero usually emphasis of matter ang ginagamit. Then the auditor will include in the paragraph a clear reference to the matter being emphasized and to where relevant disclosures that fully describe the matter can be found in the financial statement. So meaning yan, klaro niyang sasabihin kung ano yung topic na gusto niyang i-discuss and yung mga supporting details na nakalagay sa notes or disclosures ng financial statement. Kasi for him, na-sense niya na dapat alam ng users ng financial statements yung topic na to, yung matter na to, para mas maintindihan nila lalo yung financial statements ng company. Then, indicate that the auditor's opinion is not modified in respect of the matter emphasized. Meaning, walang effect sa opinion ni auditor yung emphasis on matter. Kasi, itong emphasis of matter, parang gusto niya lang or additional topic lang na gusto niyang malaman ng mga user. Now, anong mga instances na kung saan kailangan or magandang dagdagan ng emphasis of matter ang auditor's report? Well, dito provided tatlo. First is that an uncertainty relating to the future outcome of exceptional litigation or regulatory action. So ito, mayroong kumbaga ito yung mga big cases, big suits, malalaking kaso sa korte na kung saan ang effect nito magiging napaka-significant sa operations ng company. Like for example, a good example of that is, let's say, yung mga oil companies na kung saan nagkaroon ng malawakang oil spill during their operations. Na kung yun ang mangyari, grabe ang litigation, grabe ang kaso against them. So, with that, ilalagay yan ni auditor kasi it involves an uncertainty relating to the future outcome of exceptional litigation. Exceptional. O yun, oil spill. Exceptional yan. Now, second instances na pwede niyang circumstances na pwede niyang gamitin ang emphasis of matter is early application where permitted of a new accounting standard that has a pervasive effect on the financial statements in advance of its effective date. Like, for example, natatandaan niyo or aware kayo dun sa yung changes in the income or insurance, insurance standards, yung under sa paano tawag doon? Yung kung saan yung construction contracts, installment method, yung topic na kalimutan ko anong pangalan ng standard na yun. Yung standard na yun, parang sa 2022 pa, 2021 pa i-effect, magkakaroon ng effect. Pero kapag yung company nag-decide na gusto niya nang i-implement sa kanyang sa kanyang operations, sa kanyang financial statements, then ilalagay yun yung auditor sa emphasis of matter na sabihin, itong client na to, itong company na to, nag-decide na i-implement yung bagong standard na kung saan kahit hindi pa required i-implement, gusto niya nang i-implement ngayon pa lang or na-implement niya na. So yan, early application. And lastly, a major catastrophe that has had or continue to have a significant effect on the entity's financial position. Gagamitin natin ulit ang example ng COVID-19, total lockdown, suspension of operations, that is a major catastrophe. Now, pag-usapan naman natin si other matter. Kasi dito, emphasis of matter, meron ring other matter paragraph. Ano itong si other matter? Refers to a matter other than those presented or disclosed in the financial statements that in the auditor's judgment is relevant to users' understanding of the audit, the auditor's responsibility, or the auditor's report. Meaning, other than those stated sa emphasis of matter paragraph, pwede pang magdagdag si auditor ng other matter paragraph para lang mas maintindihan ni user yung financial statement. Not necessarily yung financial statement, but more understanding about the audit, more understanding about the auditor's responsibility, and more understanding about the auditor's report. Now, saan yun? The auditor shall include this paragraph immediately after the opinion paragraph and any emphasis of matter paragraph or elsewhere in the auditor's report if the content of the other matter paragraph is relevant to the other reporting responsibilities actions. Meaning, kahit saan yan ilagay ni auditor, basta kung saan siya relevant ilagay within the auditor's report. Immediately after or elsewhere. Now, kailan ba gagamitin or anong mga circumstances na pwedeng gamitin ni auditor ang other matter paragraph? Kung kailan niya pwedeng isali sa kanyang auditor's report? Well, provided 4. Una, in the rare circumstance where the auditor is unable to withdraw from an engagement, even though the possible effect of an inability to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence due to a limitation or scope of audit imposed by management is pervasive, the auditor may consider it necessary to include another matter paragraph in the auditor's report to explain why it is not possible for the auditor to withdraw from the engagement. So, haba-haba, meaning lang yan, gusto ni auditor mag-withdraw kasi parang pangit ng audit parang hindi appropriate yung audit engagement. Pero because of some matters, like for example, baka prohibited by law or regulation, hindi siya pwedeng mag-withdraw. So sasabihin nyo ni auditor sa kanyang other matter paragraph na because of this particular regulation, kahit na gusto kong mag-withdraw from the audit engagement, hindi ko pwedeng gawin. Ilalagay nyo yun sa other matter paragraph. Second circumstances is that rule, regulation, or general accepted practice in jurisdiction may require or permit the auditor to elaborate on matters that provide for the explanation of the auditor's responsibility in the audit of financial statements or of the auditor's report. So, meaning lang yan, parang sinabi lang na parang mas gusto lang ipaklaro ni auditor yung kanyang responsibility to the users. Parang mas gusto niyang mas maintindihan ni users na yung auditor's responsibility is with expressing opinion on the financial statement. Like, hindi siya ang gagawa ng financial statement, siya lang ang magbibigay ng opinion kung yung financial statement ba ay fairly presented. Parang mas gusto lang ipaklaro ni auditor sa users. Third is, an entity may prepare one set of financial statement in accordance with a general purpose framework, for example, yung national framework like PFRS. Then, magpiprepare din daw si entity ng another set of financial statements in accordance with another general purpose framework, like for example, yung International Financial Reporting Standard. So, yung isang financial statement daw, in accordance with the PFRS, yung isa daw, in accordance with the IFRS, kasi baka may mga difference yan, and engage the auditor to report on both sets of financial statement. Oh. So, magre-report daw si auditor, magbibigay siya ng opinion on both of those financial statement. Now, if the auditor has determined that the frameworks are acceptable in the respective circumstances, the auditor may include on another matter paragraph in the auditor's report referring to the fact that another self-financial statement has been prepared by the same entity in accordance with another general purpose framework and that the auditor has issued a report on those financial statements. So, meaning lang yan, si auditor, in-engage ni client, ni entity, na mag-report ng, or magbigay ng opinion on two sets of financial statements that are in accordance with two different general framework, general accounting framework. Eh, siyempre, pag magbibigay si auditor sa opinion sa isang set ng financial statement, yung set lang na yun, in accordance with that general framework, ang bibigyan ng opinion. Ngayon, pwede niyang ilagay sa other matter paragraph na, uy, maliban sa financial statements na to, nag-report din ako on another set of financial statement ng same client of the same company, pero ang reference ko is another general accounting framework. So, yun, pwede niyang ilagay sa other matter paragraph para lang magkaroon ng disclosure sa users ng financial statements ng company para maging aware lang yung mga users ng financial statements na meron palang other set of financial statements na ginawa yung company. And lastly, financial statements prepared for a specific purpose may be prepared in accordance with general purpose framework because the intended users have determined that such general purpose financial statements meet their financial information need. Now, because of that, since the auditor's report is intended for specific users, the auditor may consider it necessary in the circumstances to include another matter paragraph kung saan sasabihin ni auditor that the report is intended solely for the intended users and should not be distributed to or used by other parties. So, meaning, magpiprepare ng financial statements for specific users for specific purpose. Then, sa pag-prepare ng financial statements na yun, applicable yung general framework, applicable yung general accounting standards for that specific financial statement. So, with that, sasabihin ni auditor, ilalagay sa other matter paragraph yung instances na yun para yung mga babasa ng financial statement na yun, hindi malos na kahit na same sa general framework yung applicable o yung basis ng preparation, that financial statement was created for specific users or for specific needs. So, yan, 4 na instances. So, para mas maging klaro lang, si emphasis of matter, yung disclosure or yung presentation niya is about the financial statements. For more understanding ng financial statement. Etong si other matter naman, yung focus ng kanyang disclosure, yung focus ng kanyang explanation is yung understanding about the audit, understanding about the auditor's responsibility, and understanding about the auditor's report. So, tandaan nyo yan, ang difference sila, si emphasis of matter, yung focus ng kanyang disclosures, yung focus ng kanyang notes, yung focus ng kanyang explanation is about the financial statement. Si other matter, yung focus ng kanyang explanation is about the understanding of the audit, auditor's responsibility, and the auditor's report. Tandaan nyo yan. So, ito, sample, emphasis of matter, we draw attention to the note X to the financial statement, which describes a certainty related to the outcome of a lawsuit, filed against the company by XYZ company. Our opinion is not qualified in respect of this matter. Ngayon, pumunta naman tayo sa mga parang additional notes when it comes to reporting sa auditor's report. So, dito tayo kay PSA 710, which is comparative information, corresponding figures, and comparative financial statement. So, ito, parang from the word itself, we're comparing different sets of financial statements, and yung kino-compare mo is the current period and the prior period. Now, punta muna tayo sa definition para mas magets natin. Comparative information, the amount and disclosure included in the financial statements in respect of one or more prior periods in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. Of course, kung magko-compare ka ng financial statements, kailangan more than one yan sila. The current period and one or more prior periods. Now, anong corresponding figures? Ito daw yung mga comparative information where amounts and other disclosures for the prior period are included as an integral part of the current period financial statement. So, yung mga mahalagang figures daw, mga mahalagang information na galing sa prior period, sinama mo sa current period financial statements. Bakit? Kasi nga, integral part sila. Mahalaga. Then, they are intended to be read only. Basahin lang, for reading purposes lang, in relation to the amounts and other disclosures relating to the current period, or referred to as the current period figures. No, bakit? Well, nilalagay yan, or nandyan yan siya, para mas maintindihan mo yung amounts, notes, and disclosures ng current period. Sinasama mo yung mga notes, amounts, and disclosures of the prior period, para yung notes, amounts, and disclosures ng current period, mas magets mo, mas maintindihan mo. Now, the level of detail presented in the corresponding amounts and disclosures dictated primarily by its relevance to the current period figures. So, kung yung amount ng or level of detail mo nakadepende sa gaano ito ka-importante para maintindihan yung current period figures. And then the comparative financial statements, comparative information where amounts and other disclosures for the prior period are included for comparison with the financial statement of the current period, but if audited are referred to in the auditor's opinion. The level of information included in those comparative financial statements is comparable with that of the financial statement of the current period. So, itong si comparable financial statements, ito yung financial statements mo from the prior period, na kung saan sinama mo siya para i-compare, from the word itself, comparative, with the current financial statements. So, yun. Ito yung mga definition. So, from the word itself, alam natin, itong comparative, parang kino-compare mo lang yung mga FS mo, mga notes mo, mga amounts, disclosures, ng prior periods, kino-compare mo in relation to your current financial statements. Now, paano mo siya ginagawa? Anong audit procedures para kay PSA 710? Well, the first step is, anim sila. The auditor shall determine whether the FS include the comparative information required by applicable financial reporting framework and whether such information is appropriately classified. Ito si first step. Then the second step is the auditor shall evaluate whether, una, the comparative information agrees with the amounts and other disclosures presented in the prior period or when appropriate have been restated. So, kung same pa rin ba siya or nagkaroon ng restatement. And second, the accounting policies reflected in the comparative information are consistent with those applied in the current period. So, kung ano daw yung accounting policies mo na in-apply in the prior periods, yun pa rin or same pa rin na ina-apply mo rin siya for the current periods. Or, dito, kapag nagkaroon daw ng changes, whether those changes have been properly accounted for and adequately presented and disclosed. Kung nagkaroon ng changes, at least, it was properly restated. It was properly changed. The third step, or the third procedure, is that if the auditor becomes aware of a possible material misstatement in the comparative information, meaning from the prior period financial statement, while performing the current period, ang gagawin ni auditor, he shall perform such additional audit procedures as are necessary in the circumstances to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence. So as you can understand here, habang pina-perform ni auditor yung current period audit, tapos while performing that, nakita niya, parang may possible material misstatement sa comparative information. Meaning, parang may possible misstatement sa prior period financial statement. So, pag nasense na yan, gagawa siya na or magdi-design siya ng additional audit procedures para makita niya or para maka-obtain siya ng sufficient appropriate evidence in relation to that possible problem or possible misstatement. The next is if the auditor has audited the prior period's financial statement. Kumbaga si auditor rin yung nag-audit ng prior period's financial statement. The auditor shall also follow the relevant requirements of IAS 560. Now, IAS 560 is it is the standard for subsequent events. Kasi since siya man yung naging auditor ng prior period financial statement. Uy, sumakit lang muna ka. Now, if the prior period financial statements are amended, the auditor shall determine that the comparative information agrees with the amended financial statement. So, kung nagkaroon na ng restatement, inayos, inamend, and we make sure ni auditor na yung comparative information agrees with the amended. Then, as required by ISA 580, the auditor shall request written representations for all periods referred to in the auditor's opinion. Anong klaseng written representation yan? Well, the auditor shall also, sa written representations, parang pinky promise from management or from those with governance na yung financial statements of the prior period were fairly presented in accordance with the relevant accounting framework. Yun si written representations. The auditor shall also obtain a specific written representation regarding any restatement made to correct a material misstatement in prior period financial statements that affect the comparative information. So, hihingi din siya ng specific written representation na nagkaroon ng restatement sa prior period FS para i-correct yung material misstatement. Parang to make sure lang na aware si management and ina-admit niya na nagkaroon ng restatement ng material misstatement. Now, paano pag i-report na siya? Audit reporting. Now, the corresponding figures, the auditor's opinion shall not refer to the corresponding periods except in the following circumstances. So, yung corresponding periods, isasama lang, i-mention lang ni auditor sa kanyang auditor's opinion kapag itong mga circumstances na to is nandyan. So, makita nyo, 5 sila. The first is that if the auditor's report on the prior period as previously stated included actual qualified opinion, a disclaimer opinion, or an adverse opinion. So, basically, kapag modified opinions yung sa prior period, and the matter which gave rise to the modification is unresolved. So, yung reason daw, bakit nagbigay ng modified opinion, hindi pa inayos, ang gagawin ni auditor, he shall modify the auditor's opinion on the current period's financial statement. So, kung makikita nyo, ito yung nagre-relate to or in relation na to sa opening balances. Kasi yung opening balances, as we know, is the closing balance of the prior period. So, pag nagkaroon ng problema sa opening balances, it means lang na mayroong problema sa prior periods. Then, pero as we know, sa opening balances, kapag si auditor, kapag sa initial engagement lang yun. And dito, pag nakikita natin, sa prior periods, nagkaroon ng modification sa opinion, tapos yung reason ng modification na yun, hindi pa inayos, unresolved. So, as we know, it will affect the current period financial statement, and with that, the auditor's opinion will also be modified for the current period financial statement. And with this, refer to both the current period's figures and the corresponding figures in the description of the matter giving rise to the modification when the effect or possible effects of matters of the current periods are material in the basis for modification paragraph. So, basically, itong second part na to, i-mention mo lang kung ano yung reason. Ano yung basis ng modification mo? Ano yung basis? Bakit mo binigyan ng modified opinion sa basis for modification paragraph sa auditor's opinion? Second circumstances kung kailan i-mention si corresponding period is this. If the auditor obtains audit evidence that the material misstatement exists in the prior period FS on which an unmodified opinion has been previously issued. No, ito, kung makita nyo, yung prior FS, merong material misstatement, pero unmodified yung opinion na binigay. And the corresponding figures have not been properly restated or appropriate disclosures have not been made. So, Ito. Tapos daw, may material misstatement, tapos unmodified opinion, tapos yung material misstatement na yun, hindi restated, hindi pa inayos. Then, anong gagawin ni auditor? Well, ito, the auditor shall express a qualified opinion or an adverse opinion in the auditor's report on the current, tandaan nyo, on the current period financial statement modified with respect to the corresponding figures included therein. So, as summary, yung prior period FS, may material misstatement, pero unmodified yung binigay na opinion. Tapos yung reason ng material misstatement na yun is hindi naayos, hindi dinisclose. So, ang magiging mangyari yan, magkakaroon niya ng effect sa current financial statements. So, because of that, walang choice ang auditor, but rather to give a qualified opinion. Magiging modified opinion. Now, the third circumstance naman is that when the prior period FS that are misstated have not been amended and an auditor's report has not been reissued, but the corresponding figures have been properly restated or appropriate disclosures have been made in the current period FS, the auditor's report may include an emphasis of matter describing the circumstances and referring to where relevant disclosures that fully describe the matter that can be found in the FS. So, meaning nito, dito naman sa part na to, merong misstatement sa prior period FS. Tapos, walang yung opinion, like for example, unmodified opinion na issue for that prior period FS, hindi na restate, hindi na reissue. Pero, yung corresponding figures that have, pero yung misstatement of that prior period were properly restated and or merong appropriate disclosure. So, as opposed dito, wala talagang ginawa, dito, inayos siya. Pero, hindi ka nag-restate ng opinion. Na kapag ano nangyari, inayos siya dito at binigyan ng appropriate disclosures sa current period FS, ang gagawin ni auditor, isasama niya yan sa emphasis of matter paragraph. I-state niya yan na ganito nangyari, may misstatement sa prior period, tapos walang reissuance ng opinion, pero for this current period, inayos yung mali. So, ilalagay niya yan sa emphasis of matter paragraph. Now, the fourth circumstances is this. If the FS of the prior period were audited by a predecessor auditor, so ibang auditor, and the auditor is permitted by law or regulation to refer to the predecessor's auditor report on the corresponding periods and decided to do so, the auditor shall state in the other matter paragraph in the auditor's report. So, meaning na to, yung FS was audited by a different auditor, by a predecessor auditor. Tapos, permitted by law and regulation, si auditor pwede niyang i-refer, pwede niyang i-mention yung report ni predecessor auditor. I-mention niya yan sa other matter paragraph. At anong mga specific na i-mention niya? Itong tatlo. The FS of the prior period were audited by predecessor auditor. Second, the type of opinion expressed by the predecessor auditor, and kung if the opinion was modified, ano yung rason, and the date of that report. So, parang sabi lang ni auditor na, uy, yung FS ng entity na to, yung FS ng client ko, was audited by another auditor, by a predecessor auditor. So, para lang magkaroon ng proper disclosures, i-mention yan ni auditor sa other matter paragraph. Now, lastly, if the prior period FS was not audited or were not audited, the auditor shall state in the other matter paragraph in the auditor's report that the corresponding figures are unaudited. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung first initial engagement ni client. Ito yung first time na i-audit siya. So, yun, opening, as na-discuss natin to, sa opening balance. So, pag yun na nangyari, first time i-audit, i-mention ni auditor sa kanyang other matter paragraph sa auditor's report na, uy, first time ng client na to, first time ng company na to, na i-audit ang kanyang FS. No, pumunta naman tayo sa corresponding financial statements kung kailan iano siya sa auditor's reporting. The auditor's opinion shall refer to each period for which the FS are presented and on which an audit opinion is expressed. So, i-refer daw, meaning i-mention ni auditor sa kanyang report. Which is, ilan sila? 4. So, when reporting on a prior period FS in connection with the current period's audit, if the auditor's opinion on such prior period FS differs from the opinion the auditor previously expressed, the auditor shall disclose the substantive reason for the different opinion in an other matter paragraph in accordance with IAS 706. So as we can see here, si auditor daw yung nag-audit ng prior period. Kasi opinion the auditors previously expressed. Siya daw yung nag-audit ng prior period FS. Tapos ngayon, for the current period, nakita niya, parang mali yung nabigay kong opinion for the prior period FS. So because of that, sasabihin niya yan or i-disclose niya yan, ikukwento niya yan sa other matter paragraph na yung opinion niya for the prior period FS, mali pala. Hindi pala, iba pala yung dapat na naging opinion niya. So, parang modified, tapos, yun pala dapat, parang unmodified, yun pala dapat modified, naging either qualified, adverse, or disclaimer, etc., etc. Now, second, if the financial statements of the prior period were audited by a predecessor auditor, so ito naman, dito sa first instance, si auditor din yung nag-audit ng prior period, pero dito second, si ibang auditor na, predecessor auditor yung nag-audit ng prior period. In addition to expressing an opinion on the current period's financial statements, the auditor shall state in other matter paragraph kapag may ibang nag-audit ng financial statement ng prior period, which is a predecessor auditor. Anong i-mention niya sa other matter paragraph? Ito. 3. That the FS of the prior period were audited by predecessor auditor, the type of opinion na binigay ni predecessor auditor, kung modified ba, ano yung rason, and the date of the report. Pangatlo naman is that if the auditor concludes that a material misstatement exists that affects the prior period FS on which the predecessor auditor has previously reported without modification, mahaba, basahin natin ulit. If the auditor concludes that a material misstatement exists that affects the prior period FS on which the predecessor auditor has reported without modification, the auditor shall communicate the misstatement with the appropriate level of management, and unless all of those charged with governance are involved in the managing entity, those charged with governance and request that the predecessor auditor be informed. So ito, meaning daw, chinek yung prior period FS ng client was audited by a predecessor auditor. Now, ngayon, for the current period, habang ginagawa ni current auditor yung audit niya, auditing engagement niya, nakita niya na may material misstatement sa prior period FS. Now, because of that, prior period FS, now, nakita niya rin na yung opinion ni predecessor auditor on that was without any modification. So, upon knowing that, ang gagawin ni auditor is kausapin yung appropriate level of management or yung those charged with governance about the misstatement. Yun ang gagawin ni auditor. Required niya yung gawin. Siyempre, may problema sa prior period FS. Kailangan niya yung i-disclose. Now, if the prior period FS was amended and the predecessor auditor agrees to issue a new auditor's report on the amended FS statement of the prior period, the auditor shall report only on the current period. So, yun, nagkaroon ng usapan. Tapos yung napag-usapan nila, ayusin nila, i-amend nila yung prior period FS, and in connection with that, si predecessor auditor, iibahin niya yung opinion niya, mag-reissue siya ng bagong opinion, in accordance with the amended FS. Kapag ganun na nangyari, hindi na kailangang i-report pa ni current auditor yung prior period FS. Yung current period na lang ang kanyang i-report. So yun, kapag nagkausap sila, tapos nagkaroon ng agreement, wala nang problema. Ang i-report na lang ng auditor yung current period. Now, pang-apat, if the prior period FS were not audited, the auditor shall state in another matter paragraph that the comparative FS are unaudited Such a statement does not, however, relieve the auditor of the requirement to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence that the opening balances do not contain misstatement that materially affects the current period financial statement. So, ito, ibig sabihin, initial engagement, first time ni client magpapa-audit ng kanyang FS. So, kapag ganun nangyari, siyempre, kailangan i-disclose ni auditor sa kanyang other matter paragraph sa auditor's opinion or sa auditor's report na first time magpapa-audit ni client, first time magpapa-audit ng company. Then with that, but that does not relieve the auditor from checking the opening balances na walang misstatement, because gaya ng discussion natin sa opening balances, we know that the opening balances is the same as the ending balance of the prior period. So, with that, alam natin na magkakaroon ng effect yan sa current period. So, it does not relieve the auditor from his responsibility to make sure, not necessarily to make sure, but to perform audit procedures para malaman niya kung meron bang misstatement of the opening balance, because it will affect or it may affect the financial statements of the current period. Now, pumunta naman tayo kay PSA 720. So, ano to siya? Oh, yun. Si PSA 720 naman, sa yung auditor's responsibility in relation to other information in documents containing audited financial statements. So, additional side note rin to. Like, from the auditor's opinion, may mga other documents na pwedeng ibigay si auditor. Lalo na yung mga pabibo, yung mga yung gustong i-inform lahat, gawin lahat, parang ano ba, pabibo kumbaga, not necessarily in a bad way, kasi when it comes to actual audit class, the more documents that you are able to provide, the better. Mas maganda yung magiging tingin sa'yo, kasi when it comes to actual audit, ang basehan niya ng magandang trabaho is proper audit documentation. So, payo lang kung gusto niyo mag-audit firm, make sure na yung audit documentation nyo is top-notch. Kasi i-judge kayo dyan. Kailangan maganda ang inyong audit documentation. So, ito, PSA 720, kung gusto mo magdagdag pa ng other audit documents sa other documentations mo sa audit mo, o edi isama mo to. So, definitions tayo. Other information. Ano to? Financial and non-financial information other than the financial statements and the auditor's report thereon, kung saan it includes or which is included either by law, regulation, or custom in a document containing audited FS and the auditor's report thereon. So, ito additional information na pwede mong i-provide or isama sa iyong auditor's report. Second is inconsistency. Other information that contradicts information contained in the audited financial statement. So, iba daw. Parang nagkakaroon ng contradiction, nagkakaroon ng difference sa information na to from the information provided in the audited financial statement. Now, a material inconsistency may raise doubt about the audit conclusions drawn from audit evidence previously obtained and possibly about the basis of the auditor's opinion on the financial statement. So, material inconsistency. Kapag daw yung difference between the other information and the information contained in the audited FS is material, baka magkakaroon ng problema sa reliability ng magiging auditor's opinion, sa reliability ng magiging conclusion sa audit engagement, kasi naging basis ng opinion mo is yung information that you're able to gather through your audit procedures from the financial statements. Tapos meron pala ditong ibang information na contradicts yung naging basis mo. So, problema yan, lalo na pag material. Pero pag hindi naman material, dead man na lang. And misstatement of fact. Other information that is unrelated to matters appearing in the audited FS that is incorrectly stated or presented. So, mali da yung nilagay. A material misstatement of fact may undermine the credibility. Kasi pag na-undermine yung credibility, magiging less reliable yung opinion. Mas magiging less reliable yung audited financial statement. Now, material inconsistencies. Ano ba to? Well, if on reading the other information, the auditor identifies a material inconsistency. So, habang binabasa niya yung other information, may nakita siya, uy, parang iba man tong information na to sa information provided in the audited FS. Di ang gagawin ni auditor, he will determine whether the financial statements or the other information needs to be revised. So, alin pa sa ang meaning niyan, ngayon, mag-iimbestiga si auditor kung alin sa kanila yung tama, yung nasa FS ba or yung nasa other information. Kasi kung sino yung mali dyan, kailangan niyang i-revise, kailangan niyang ayusin. Now, when revision of the audited financial statements is necessary, yung mali daw is nakay audited financial statements. So, kailangan niya ng revision. Pero, si management daw refuses to make the revision. Ang gagawin ni auditor, he shall modify the opinion in accordance with PSA 705, modifications to the opinion in independent auditor's report. So, meaning, matigas, stubborn si management. Ayaw niyang ayusin yung mali sa financial statement. So, because of that, walang choice si auditor. Magbibigay siya ng modified opinion. Now, when revision of, ito naman tayo sa pangalawa, when revision of the other information, nakita natin, ang may mali dito ay si other information. So, siya yung kailangang magkaroon ng revision. Pero, may problema. Management refuses to make the revision. Matigas ang ulo ni management. Ayaw niyang palitan. Ayaw niyang i-revise. Then, ang gagawin ni auditor, he shall communicate this matter to those charged with governance, usually the board of directors. And with that, include in the auditor's report and other matters paragraph describing the material inconsistency. Pwede niya ring i-withhold ang auditor's report, patigasan sila. And pwede ring takutin niya, o hindi man sa takutin, ano bang magandang term? Pwede sabihin niya, sige, kung ayaw mong palitan yan, mag-withdraw na lang ako. If legally permitted, mag-withdraw siya. So ito, tandaan natin, mapapansin nyo, kapag yung revision o yung material inconsistency is on the part of the audited financial statement, ang mangyayari, magkakaroon ng modification of opinion kapag si management ni-refuse niya na magkaroon ng revision. So, makikita nyo, modification agad ng opinion. Tapos kung ma-observe nyo rin dito, kapag yung material inconsistency is nasa kay other information, tapos need niya ng revision, tapos ayaw ni management, ang magiging effect lang is makikipag-communicate si auditor sa those charged with governance. Tapos pwede niyang ilagay yung problema sa other matters, or pwede niyang i-withhold yung auditor's report, or pwede siyang mag-withdraw if legally permitted. So dito, modification of opinions. Dito, communicate, negotiate. Now, pumunta naman tayo kay material misstatement of facts. Now, if on reading the other information for the purpose of identifying material inconsistencies, the auditor becomes aware of an apparent material misstatement of fact, ang gagawin ni auditor, the auditor shall discuss the matter with management. So, habang nag-check niya yung other information for any material misconsistency, may nakita siyang mali. Apparent material misstatement of fact. Ang gagawin ni auditor, kakausapin niya si management. Pag-uusapan nila yan. Now, ang next mangyayari, when following such discussion, the auditor still consider that there is an apparent misstatement of fact, the auditor shall request management to consult with a qualified third party, such as the entity's legal counsel, and should consider the advice received. So, yun. Then, ang third na mangyayari, when the auditor concludes that there is a material misstatement of fact in the other information which management refuses to correct, matigas ang ulo ni management. Ayaw niyang ayusin yung material misstatement of fact. Ang gagawin ni auditor, the auditor shall notify those charged with governance of the auditor's concern regarding the other information and take any further appropriate action. So, itong mangyayari kapag may material misstatement of fact sa other information.